Hi, everybody. I'm so glad to be with you tonight for this really relevant topic. And I know it's relevant because everybody I spoke to today said, "Oh, I'm setting my alarm. I want to make sure I don't miss this today because who can't relate to the notion that we eat when we're stressed?" So we're going to talk about this today, and we will officially start in 1 minute. But if this is you, let me know that you're here. As always, give me the thumbs up button. Let me know that you're here. As always, give me the thumbs up button. Let me know that you're here. And oh, I see a few people here. So great. I'm thrilled to know it. It is 7 o'clock. We are living in some kind of a stressful world. Tell me if you can relate to this. And I have a great feeling that many of you can. There are some of us who, when we're stressed, we can't eat at all. But there are many of us, and most of us, you're totally stressed, who, when we're stressed, we eat more. And it makes complete sense. I was just thinking about recapping today's events because I just watched the news and I saw that our numbers are starting to uptick, that they're considering perhaps the phase 3 wasn't so good, that maybe they might roll back some of these restrictions. We're in the midst of a hurricane coming through the area. I mean, how much more and more and more can we take? And so it makes sense that during these very uncertain times, as we're wondering, can kids go back to school? Look at what's happening with camps and outbreaks in camps, even for those who are following protocol just the way they were told to. And it's a very uncertain time. And perhaps if you are like me, that you need to know because you like to plan, it's not that we're not spontaneous, but you need to know, it makes sense that you are stress eating. Under the best of circumstances, we can eat when we're stressed. So let me know if this is you, because I can tell you it's totally me. So that's what we're going to talk about today. 5 ways, and we can certainly do more, but 5 ways that you can take charge of this stress eating to turn it around, create some newer, better habits that will help you, because even when this pandemic is eventually under control, stress is stress and it's just part of life. So it's important to get this skill right now and to strengthen it while you're being tested so that you'll be able to glide through. Hi, Richard. Stress doesn't even come close to describing it. I completely agree with you, Richard. That's why we're doing the live stream. So I'm so glad that you can relate because it makes me feel not so alone. And so we're going to talk about this today, and you can share your stories as well as we go through. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Debbie Kravitsky. I've been a registered dietitian for over 30 years. I have a master's degree in clinical nutrition. Currently, I'm a dietitian at the Mass General Hospital Cardiovascular Disease Prevention Center. I have a private practice that I offer through Zoom. If that interests you, you can go to my Facebook page on Dishin with the Dietitian on Facebook, and you can message me, and we can arrange for that kind of a consult. I also consult with many corporations. I have appeared in television. I've appeared in national publications such as Harper's Bazaar and Family Circle magazine. I've also contributed to a chapter in a book written about heart disease along with cardiologists from Mass General called Facing Heart Disease. It gives me my greatest pleasure and joy to help you to reach your dietary goals by providing you with accurate, current, evidence-based nutrition information. Together, we will shop, we will cook, and I will navigate the way. So I want you to think about you and when you eat, and the way you're going to know the difference between eating for physical hunger and the way you're going to know whether you're doing emotional eating is when you're doing emotion, when you're eating because you're not hungry, you're really not going to get satisfied. Has that ever happened to you, that you start foraging through your pantry or your kitchen or your freezer, or you're going from one cabinet to the next, to the freezer, to the fridge, and you're just like a Hoover, and it's just not hitting the notes for you? It's because it had nothing to do with the food and it had everything to do with the driver. And so when you learn how to eat right and have a healthy lifestyle, which, by the way, doesn't mean perfection, it just means most of the time, it really requires the courage and the honesty to look at what was driving you to eat in the first place. You really want to take control of your emotions. Absolutely, that's me. Yep. Hi, Richard. I'm so glad you and I are right on the same page. We're right there. So ask yourself the why, the who with, and the where, because you want to ask yourself these questions as you start to get, I always call it getting up to bat. You really want to start this self-discovery, because once you have self-discovery, then you can have self-empowerment. So you really have to ask yourself, what is it that's getting me? And that's not a comfortable question to ask, because the hardest question of all is, am I really hungry, or am I stressed? And then the question is, okay, yes, stressed, but why? What's getting you stressed? You've got to dig a little deeper. And this isn't easy. It's not easy at all. And if anybody ever tells you it's easy, then they're lying to you, because it's going to require truth and the courage and the honesty to look at these things that are getting you. And then recognize that some things you can change and some things you just can't. Some things just are what they are. But really start to get to know you and what drives you. Is it every time you're at work, somebody at work is driving you stressed and you start eating? Or the thought of now going to work and being under those circumstances are driving you to work? Or maybe lack of work right now is driving you to eat. There are so many reasons, and we each eat for different reasons. Are you just not feeling great? So you say, the heck with it. I'm going to go eat whatever. I'll start this tomorrow. Or I'll start this on Monday, because I really don't start diets till Monday. Have you ever had that conversation with yourself? This makes total sense, because while technology has changed, it's just interesting to understand the why. Well, technology's changed. We're still wired like cavemen. Cavemen, to stress to a caveman means predator. So you ignite what's called a fight or flight response. You prepare to either fight or to run like the Dickens and get out of there. So to do that, you need energy. So your hormones, ghrelin and leptin, the ones that would have told you that you're hungry and you're full, they switch places, because you've got to crave the fuel. You've got to eat to either run or to stay and fight. So you crave refined carbohydrates, sugary foods, white bread, pasta, cookies, rice, white rolls, and also sweets and fats like cookies, like potato chips. These are the foods we go for. I don't know many people who, when they're stressed, they go for broccoli. Can you relate to that? So we're craving these foods because when you eat them, they'll give you the fuel as your body as the predator. But the other thing they do is they actually make you feel better. You come home at the end of the day and you're hungry and you're tired. Maybe you're bored or frustrated, or you just watched the news like I did and you're a little unhinged, worrying about the future, forget about right now. And there's a chocolate cake sitting on your counter. And so you eat it because it's there. Well, in that minute, gosh darn it, don't you feel better? You do, because you get a little rush, a little release, a little buzz. It raised a neurotransmitter in your brain called dopamine, and dopamine gives you the high. So it makes sense that you're going for these foods, because number one, as a caveman, you're getting the fuel you need. But number two, it's making you feel better. It's providing you with the comfort you need while you're in a very uncomfortable situation. Here's the problem. In a minute, you're going to swallow, not even a minute. And you're now going to have the first problem that drove you to eat, and now another problem, because how do you feel when you overeat? Because you're going to keep eating because nothing's going to hit the notes. How do you feel when you overeat? Do you feel bloated, swollen, distended, loggy? And then that's more stress. And that stress will continue the cycle of continuing to try to comfort yourself, and you're ending up with more and more and more problems. So the thing you need to do is stop the cycle. You got to interrupt it. Start by number one. You need to give yourself a timeout. We did it when we do it to our kids. If you have kids, you've given them a timeout when they misbehave. You have to do that too. And in this timeout, you need to take the time to think, what the heck am I doing? Am I really hungry? Or am I bored? Am I tired? Am I frustrated? Do I have to do something? I don't want to do it. I'd rather eat. It's a much more fun activity. Do I think I deserve this food to make myself feel better because I had, such a hard, long day? This isn't helping you to reach your goals. Therefore, you need the time out to start to think about why, where, who with, what the heck am I doing? Ask yourself these questions because you're going to start to put in a new plan. Then take the steps. Number 2, take the steps to create the new plan. So if when you ask yourself, am I really hungry? And the answer is no, then you say to yourself, well, what is it? If you're tired, hi, Boo, how are you? If you're tired, what is it that you can do? There's no harm or shame in taking a nap, closing your eyes for a few minutes. You'll totally feel better and you'll give yourself that break that you need. If you're stressed, what do you think is something that you should do? Write it in because I'll be checking for your answer. It'll help all of us. What's something you think that you should do if you're stressed, you're not hungry, and you're going to eat? Now you're giving yourself the time out, you're giving yourself the break, and you're realizing what you're doing, but you don't want to just autopilot. It's becoming habit already. So what is it that you can do other than eating if you're not hungry, but you're actually feeling stressed? What do you think? Richard, I'm looking for you because you're feeling the stress like I am, and we're eating under these circumstances, which isn't working for us. So let me know what it is it that you're doing. Hi, Joe. How are you? All has been well. ICR is open again, so good to know, but with very few people. So what can you do? Joe, you might be able to help with this. Work out, JMK. Winner, fish dinner. De-stress dinner. So JMK writes that JMK works out when feeling stressed. And that's exactly a great idea. So maybe you go for a walk. I want you to get out of when you're feeling stressed. Hi, Janice. Good evening. You don't eat when you're stressed. So I want you to get out of whatever room you're in. When you're feeling that stress, I want you to leave that room because environment creates the behavior. If you go out for a walk, it's a win-win-win. You change your environment, you change the behavior. You're outside where it's calm, not today in a hurricane, but if the weather permits, it's calm, it's peaceful, it makes you feel better. That's the high you're looking for. And when you exercise, you physically change your brain. I've said this many, many times before. So you'll exercise 40 minutes a day. Right. This is great, Joe. I love kayaking and hiking and cycling and walking. Awesome, Joe. That's just what you want to do because you also, and boredom, you're looking for a break from work, from home. So exercise, Jonathan, would be a great thing for you. When you're stressed, whether it's from boredom or stress or anger or frustration, what have you, by the way, your stress can be good stress. Maybe you're planning a wedding. Maybe you're just joyous about something coming up. Your brain doesn't distinguish between happy stress and sad stress. Stress is stress. And you think from the back of the brain, the amygdala, rash, impulsive thoughts. That's why you go eat. When you go exercise, you physically change your brain. Thought processes come from the frontal lobe, the cortex, much more well thought out, less rash, less impulsive thoughts. You'll be able to make much better food choices when you're thinking from your frontal lobe. So go you, Jonathan. I love the hiking, the cycling, the kayaking, the walking, and go JMK for you working out. And I love the little logo there. That's awesome. That's what you want to do. It's a huge win. Now, if the weather isn't good, walk around your house, do some jumping jacks, do some push-ups, some crunches. It's awesome. And give yourself the time out. So another thing that you can do is you need to get your feelings out. Say them out loud. If you have a friend, call the friend. If you're living with somebody who is somebody good to talk to. Say it out loud. Say, I am feeling so stressed today. I had one heck of a day at work today, or what I'm worried about this, or whatever it is. When you get it out, it takes on a whole new platform. And words are a powerful handle by which we can manage our emotions. If you had a lousy day, say it. Get it out there. I had a lousy day. There you go. You did. And now you let it go. Take a breath and breathe that stress right out the window, and you are good to go. Another thing you can do is give yourself that time out by having some meditation. It's just that pause, that peace. You'll bring your brain back to the frontal lobe. This is just what you need to do. The autopilot of eating wasn't helping you. So start to create your plan. The third thing you should do is you should get rid of anything in your house that doesn't have to be there. Because if it's not there, you can't eat it. So make sure you have also foods on hand to help you to stay the course. And have three things. I'd rather you do these meditation. Journaling is phenomenal. Keep writing your words down until you feel like you've gotten it out. You've got to get these feelings out. You don't want to stuff them anymore. That was the old habit that was sabotaging your goals. Get your feelings out. So through journaling, keep writing. You could use art. You can draw. There are, somebody gave me a few years ago, I thought it was silly at the time, but it really was quite wonderful. It was a coloring kit with colored pencils. It's a great stress reliever, is to color. You also can collage. So if you open up a magazine or a newspaper and cut words out that help to describe how you're feeling or how you'd like to feel, and then put it together in a collage, it's really great. Joe, you've been keeping a journal for about 40 years. And Joe, do you find it helpful? I think it's just the most wonderful tool. It's also good to make this part of your everyday routine. So Joe, let me know if journaling has been helpful for you. Clearly it must be because you've been doing it for so long. And also, when do you journal? It's a catharsis. Yeah, it really is a relief. You get those words out and you get your feelings out. And that's the key. So go you, Joe. And when do you journal? Some people like to journal first thing in the morning, as they use it as not only their feelings, but their hopes for the day, their plans for the day. And it just relaxes you to have that kind of a list and that kind of a roadmap. I think it's wonderful. Other people find it much better to do it towards the end of the day, at the night, maybe before you go to bed. It's just part of your routine as you reflect. And as you think back on the day, it's very easy to think about the negative, the things we tend to, as humans, we tilt to the negative. So it's very easy to think about all the things that went wrong or the things that bothered you or just got under your skin. But it's really important to also take the time to think about what went right and what was good today, and to have that kind of a grateful journal. You do it in the evening to reflect upon the day. Yeah, I think it's great. Any time is great. So the evening makes complete sense to me. And it's also important to think about what you were grateful for, what went right that day. So I think it's wonderful. Sometimes in the morning you don't have time because you're racing. But it's important to give yourself this kind of time. The journaling is great. The exercise. Joe, I'm so impressed with all your good habits. It's really fabulous. Go you. That's excellent. And it's also important to have a drink. That sometimes we confuse hunger and thirst. So make sure that you have something to drink, because sometimes it's that you're thirsty, not hungry. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that if it is food that you're going to turn to, that you have 3 foods that you can turn to when you're stressed that won't sabotage your goals. And the trick is, I want you to wait 20 minutes between each of the 3 items that you decide that you can have at that time, when either for some reason the journaling isn't working, nothing is working. I want you to think about what you can do. By the way, other good ideas, because Freddie Daw, my buddy, asked me if I'd have more than 5. And I said to him, I probably have 55 ideas of the other things you can do other than eating when feeling stressed. brush your teeth. Nothing goes with mint toothpaste. Take a shower. Do anything to give you the timeout, that interruption, so that you're not automatically going to eat. If when you come home from work, think about what were the steps prior to your eating. If every time you come home from work, you go into the kitchen, you start eating, then instead leave a pair of sneakers by your door. And when you come home, put the sneakers on and out you go. If it's at night, you sit down at night after dinner and you're sitting in your kitchen watching TV. And since you're in the kitchen and you're eating, then that's not working for you. After dinner, out you go. You got to switch the rooms. So think about all these things. But wonderful things to do is to drink first, and because we confuse hunger and thirst. I love, I'm trying to break my Diet Coke addiction. I love Topo Chico, the mineral water, and I can drink it slowly. It'll fill me up and it'll give me the pause. Other people prefer a hot drink, like a hot cup of tea. These stress relief teas, they're just soothing and comforting, but any tea will work. And it's important for me. I don't know about any of you. I just love crunch. Let me know if that's you. Oh, the ICR. I will definitely, Joe, give everybody your regards. They're going to be so thrilled that I'm hearing from you and that you're doing so well. But I love crunch. So I also love mustard. Anybody who knows me knows that I love mustard. I also love garlic, and I love mustard. Everybody who knows me knows I love garlic. So Trader Joe's has this aioli garlic mustard. I just adore it. And I often will take a carrot because it's, this is not going to sabotage your goals. And you can dip in this and it is delicious. And it'll just give me that time out and the crunch sometimes that I need. And it will do that. I also love sweet and crunch, not just savory. So I love Biscotti. This is Irene's Biscotti. You can get it at Wegmans, at Whole Foods, at Roach Brothers Sudbury Farms. It's in the bakery section of the market. It's not where the cookies are. So they're 20 calories each. They come in a variety of flavors, and these are go-tos. If I'm going to eat nuts, I want them prepackaged because otherwise I won't know how much I ate. And it's really important to know what you're eating. So buy these 100-calorie packs so it's pre-portioned and you're in good shape. And then, look at that. I can see I'm upside down. There you go. 100-calorie pack. You can get any variety you want, whether it's cashews or almonds and walnuts. And when the envelope is empty, you did the 100 calories and you're done. It's really important not to let yourself go too long, because when you're too hungry, when your blood sugar, you're going to eat more, you'll be ravenous and out of control. You also want to keep your blood sugars nice and even, because when you're stressed, you raise hormones such as cortisol, which will help to keep your blood sugars high. But your body doesn't like your blood sugar to stay high, so you'll inevitably have a crash, and that will drive you to eat. So if you eat regularly throughout the day, you keep your blood sugars nice and even and steady, you'll avoid having to overeat in response to a low blood sugar, which it will only be exacerbated or made worse by stress. So a combination of a carbohydrate and a protein will help to keep your blood sugars nice and even. Like a yogurt, nuts are fiber and fat will do it. These are things that will help you to stay the course during the day and keep your blood sugars nice and even and steady. So whenever you have a meal, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, make sure you have protein plus a great source of fiber, because it will help to keep you in better control by keeping your blood sugars nice and even and steady. Has this been helpful for you? Let me know. So, definitely give me a thumbs up if it's been helpful. And I'm loving having you here. So what I want you to do is take the steps. Number one, to identify why it is that you're eating. What is your driver? And then what you can do to correct it. By two, taking the steps to put in a plan. So you're going to ask yourself the where am I eating? The why am I eating? Who am I with when I'm eating? and you're going to figure out what is it that's driving you. And then you're going to be able to put in a plan to take it back. So whether it's you go for a walk, you work out, you jump rope, you have foods, you have activities in your house, make them easy accessible. So I have a Peloton downstairs. I have jump rope in my family room. I have a yoga mat also in my family room. So almost any room I go to, I can start to do something. You can do a jumping jack in every room. You can do a crunch, sit up. You can do leg lifts. That exercise will physically change where your thought processes come from to your frontal lobe, and you're going to be in a much better position to make a wiser food choice, or to not have to eat at all because you weren't hungry at all. It will empower you and you will feel better. And once you have success, success begets success. And you will start this positive cycle, which is just what you want to do. We all feel stressed. There are times that our days, they're just lousy. There are days that it just happens. Things just don't go our way. It just doesn't work that day. That's okay. Don't stuff it. You deserve better than that. You deserve to get these feelings out by using your words, either through calling a friend, talking to somebody in your house, journaling it, writing it down, making a collage, meditating, what have you. But use your words. They're a powerful handle by which you can better manage your emotions. And you don't need to stuff it. You need to validate them and acknowledge them. And then take the time to think about, okay, that was certainly horrible, but something must have gone right. So what did go right? Also take the time to reframe and to think about what you were grateful for. What did happen great today? What happened great today for me was all of you. Right after the news, to have all of you here is unbelievable. This is my joy and my high. We need to connect with people, particularly while we're wearing masks and we're isolating. Use your eyes. I think they are the window to the soul. I tell everybody who meets me at Mass General, and we're just in a mask, so they have no really clue what I really look like. I tell them, oh, I'm stunning under this mask. You need to laugh, and we need to have fun and put a little levity into these very stressful times. Process your emotions, and it will really give you some joy and some light into each day as you as you will go through self-discovery, but also self-empowerment. There is no better feeling in the world. I don't want you to think, I blew it, forget about it, tomorrow's another day. No, I want you to stop, take the time out, and reframe, so that you can start to create new habits, better habits that will take you not only for right now, but will carry you through for the rest of your life. And nothing will feel better or taste better than that. Know that it isn't about never having a certain food. I want you to get rid of that on-off button around eating and remove the stress around dieting. Every once in a while, you are going to say, heck with it. I want it. I know, but I still want it. Have it. Make sure you enjoy it. And I want you to really treat yourself well. And part of treating yourself well is to trust yourself, to validate your emotions, but also to trust you. If you want something, have something, and then just move forward and move on. Hi, Richard. Step one is the most difficult. That's why we started there. But you are totally right. That's why, Richard, and like all of you, I would never, ever tell you that this is easy. If this was easy, wouldn't we all be perfect? It's because it's hard. But anything worthwhile, nothing easy is worthwhile. This is worth it, though, because you're worth it. And if you take the time right now to do this, you will forever be grateful. And you can. And should you not do it well the first time, it's okay. Get up. Try it again. This is hard. And so you can do it. One of the hardest parts about Corona is we're used to running, and we can escape our emotions, and we don't have to face ourselves. But now we're home. Now there's nowhere else to go. Now you got to really figure out, why is it that my dining room table has turned into a pantry and I'm eating nothing but junk food? You need to now look and you have the time to look. And so there are a lot of silver linings to this pandemic. And one of them is that it simplifies our life, which means we have to look. It's going to make it harder, but it's going to make it worthwhile in the end. We will come out of this with great skills and great strength and a great inner discovery of who we are and what makes us tick. And that's invaluable. That's really incredible. So there are silver linings even to this pandemic for all of us as we start to learn more about who we are, what drives us, and how we can continue to celebrate who we are, but not have to punish ourselves or sabotage ourselves in any way. We need to learn how to be kind to each other, but also kind to ourselves. It's really huge so that we don't need to punish ourselves anymore. We understand that when we eat, we're trying to comfort ourselves and feel better, but it really doesn't do it because it doesn't address what the real driver was. Understand that it never had anything to do with the food. It always had everything to do with the driver. And that's what makes this so hard. So, Richard, you are completely right. Janice, thank you. I am staying well and safe. I'm hoping that you are as well. So that is great. But I'm hoping this has been helpful for all of you and that you can use these steps as you start to create new habits, better habits that will support you not only now, but for forever, really, as you create a much better roadmap. So let me know if there's anything else. You know, I can yep. But I'm very excited to be here with you to talk about this very relevant topic, particularly as we know that the time that it continues to go on. Hope you are well and safe. Yep. Thank you so much, Janice. I love that. And oh, Janice, thanks so much. Really, let me tell you, Janice, I love those words because you're incredible. But I also want you to know, and all of you to know, that as helpful as I hope I am for you, as you are for me, that it gives me my greatest joy to be able to be here with you and to connect with you at this time. Oh, Richard, you're the best. Right back at you, all of you. And Boo, of course, who never misses a live stream, who I'm just loving all of you. You're great, just great. But I want to wish you all a great night. Start to catch yourself. Give yourself that pause when you're going to eat, when you're not hungry. Ask yourself, am I really hungry? What's driving me? Take that first step. And from there, you'll be able to put in your new plan and have foods on hand, and you'll start to do something different. Let me know how you do. If there's something you'd like me to do a live stream on, I'm happy to take suggestions. You can always reach me either in the comment box below or on Facebook's Dishin with the Dietitian page. And if you haven't done so, please hit the subscribe button. That allows me to continue to do this. YouTube has said that I need to have 1,000 subscribers in order to take you in live stream from my mobile device, which will give me a little bit more freedom and flexibilities for these live streams. So if there's anybody you know, have them hit the subscribe button and also that bell, which is a notification button, which will let you know when new live streams come on. But as always, I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. If there's something you want me to do a live stream on, simply let me know. And it has been, as always, my greatest pleasure to be with you tonight. And I'm glad to see you're all doing so well. So take care, everybody. And let me know how you did. I will talk to you soon. Have a great night.